Alexandria Occasio-Cortez, the patron saint of COVID-19, is unfortunately back in the headlines. And unlike Ruth Bader Ginsburg, this chick is still kicking. Now, earlier this week, AOC took to her Instagram Live to hold a COVID-19 forum for her fans. Now, here's a side note. These are not her constituents. These are fans, because Alexandria Cortez is not a politician. She is nothing more than a glorified social media influencer who just happened to wander into the halls of Congress. Now, this youngest congresswoman that we know of as AOC took questions from her audience while safely tucked away in her luxurious D.C. apartment, where rent for just a simple studio exceeds $2,000 a month. Now, the almighty and powerful AOC answered questions and addressed concerns from people all over the world regarding the Wuhan flu, the Mugu guy pandemic, all right? It's from China. Ironically, most of the questions were geared towards her personal experience during the quarantine. Now, you might not be aware of this fun little fact during this year-long quarantine or however long March lasted, but AOC apparently has become a licensed doctor, therapist, grief counselor, civil rights activist, climate scientist, molecular biologist, and the foremost expert on infectious diseases and their physical, racial, economic, mental, global, environmental, and sociological impact on all of us, apparently. Now, let's hope she's looking for a career change, because quite frankly, I think her current job as a congresswoman is DOA. God knows she certainly believes herself to be qualified for anything. Now, this, folks, is just another running example of exactly how out of touch these politicians truly are. Now, to say that AOC cares about her constituents that are currently suffering in one of the hardest hit areas of COVID-19 would be an extreme overestimate. New York's District 14, where AOC was elected, is now considered the epicenter of the epicenter. People are found dead in the subways, lining the streets to get into grocery stores, and the entire boroughs are out of work in arguably the most expensive city in the country. This is socialism at work, folks. This is your free 90-day trial, America. At the end, you got to start paying for it. And I mean really paying for it. Architects of a socialist economic system will preach about how they will empathize and sympathize with you and truly understand your struggles. They can be the voice of the people until it comes time for a global pandemic. Then you're on your own. See, they're able to shop at the Whole Foods located down in their apartment lobby while you and your family are forced to stand 6 feet apart on the little sticker at the Walmart in a line that wraps around the outside of the grocery store. Now, their solutions for true disasters are far from helpful. Here's what they're going to do. All of them. They're going to throw a check, a stimulus package at Americans in order to fix the problem. Well, that's about as successful as trying to fill a bucket with water when there's a big old hole in the bottom. They're herding cats at this point. They don't know what the hell to do. D.C. is one big old goat roping extravaganza. It's a circus, folks. It's a circus, all 3 rings of it. Politicians like this will always ensure that they're going to stand with you dying in the tough times, that they'll fight for the average Joe. And speaking of Joes, that reminds me, has anybody heard from Bernie Sanders recently? No, he's probably self-isolating in one of his multi-million-dollar homes, his COVID summer camp. Everyone has one. No, I'll tell you about Bernie. The chop fluey likes to exponentially compound the problems that go with an underlying condition. And Bernie, who is older than Methuselah, just had a heart attack a few months back. He can't even be on the front lines, and you diet socialists wanted to put him in charge. You getting this? Nope. Okay. It's okay. Oh, now you're with me. It's okay, though. His little disciple of doom, AOC, is out there on the gram, making sure the world knows she cares. Yeah, while she's making margaritas in her security access DC loft. Now, if you take one lesson away from this COVID-19 crisis of 2020, it should be this. Don't lick anything and don't rely on politicians. Now that I have your attention, why don't you understand something? Because this is what you pay attention to right here. The toilet paper, the Tiger King and the toilet paper. That's all you care about, right? Here it comes. Don't rely on politicians. Look at that. Look at that. You know the street value of that right there? But it's still, you wipe your ass with it. Don't rely on politicians, people. Go get my new song, Quarantine Life. Love y'all. God bless.